Good morning. See if anybody shows up in today. So let's talk about what went down last night in Coach's feed a little bit, but that's not the point of this video. Well, it kind of triggers the point of this video. How's it going, Trucker Steve in PA? Matt Grady, good morning. Brandon, Bearden, Sun Chaser. Yeah, I shaved it off. Every now and then, when I have problems with the CPAP machine, I'll shave the beard a little bit. I'll probably let it grow out. Gear Grabber, what's up? Larry Fisher. So let's talk about the grass is greener. So in Jeff's live feed just now, what happened? Nothing happened. Oh, Juan, I was talking about Coach's live feed last night a little bit. Hey, Kevin, what's up? Hope all is well. Now, Kevin and Ollie, he's a good example of when it works. He was over here at Schneider, and he saw that the grass could be greener over at Traveloka, and he's doing well over there. You know, which brings me to the point. Hey, Lisa, what's up? So, when, you know, here's the thing, you know, it's been talked about. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Harold. It's been talked about over here at the Big Orange about the micromanaging, okay? I know a few ICs that were over here that have since moved on, that most of the drama, most of the issues that they had with upper management and everything was caused on themselves. Like Jeff said in his last live feed, they brought it on themselves. I hardly ever talk to the mothership. The only time I talk to mothership is if I have a trailer issue or a lumper I need to get paid, or you know, that's about it, or a bad pickup number or something like that. But that very rarely happens. I've gone like a whole month, 2 months without even talking to anybody, and that's great. There's a lot of issues sometimes with the trailer pool, but a lot of times if we can take care of that ourselves. There's been times where I've tried to call them, and you know, I got things taken care of myself while I was on hold. So, but everybody at their own company goes through the grass is greener thing. And if I leave Schneider, it will be to go to the next step, not to go to another, you know, owner-operator company or whatever. As far as like, I'm not going to be doing the same thing. It'll be a step up, like kind of like what Kevin and Ollie did. He went from doing the consistent Schneider contract freight to now he's in the spot market world. But the micromanaging occurs at almost any company that is a bigger carrier. I know small carriers that have just about the same amount of micromanaging. If you guys watch EMIP TV, he's talked about the sensor that detects that you're about to roll over. Yeah, Kevin and Ollie says, and I left on good terms and could come back to Schneider if it were necessary. Yeah, Kevin. Landstar has given me an open invitation to come back at all times. Juan asked, what did Coach talk about now? He did a video last night. It was his best live feed. He basically revealed the issues that he had at Traveloka. And towards the end of the video, he brought Eric into the situation, Eric Cornelius, who's the safety guy there. He brought him in on on speakerphone, and even Little Dog got in there a little bit. There was a little shot taken at me, because I'm at Schneider, and the Mega Carrier is the big enemy. But I just let that slide, because I asked, someone asked a question about their 15% cash advance fee, and I just put up the comment that Schneider only charges $1 per transaction, and Eric Cornelius took a shot at me. He was like, "We'll go work at Schneider." It's like, whatever. And then also the comment was made, if you have to take cash advances, that you don't know how to run your business, and that's not always true. Sometimes I take a cash advance because I avoid ATM fee if I want cash on hand. So it's just, when you're first starting out, sometimes you got to take a cash advance, but it's not like I rely on them to pay, monthly bills or anything like that. So it's just like with anything else in trucking, you get a lot of people that, oh, if you do this, you're doing it wrong. If you do this, you're doing it wrong. So, but that's what happened, Coach, or Juan. Coach did a really good live feed last night. It was very informative, especially on if you want to know some of the numbers on the trailers. Gear Grabber says, "Me too, Kevin." Yeah, never burn the bridge. Here's the thing. Southside Trucker says, "What up, Snore? Four-wheeler cut me off and almost rammed. Good way to start the morning." Yeah. Cameron, I will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin, October 2nd. Well, congratulations, Cameron. And Kevin mentions, the 15% is absurd, but they lay it out on the contract very plainly. Yeah. And I get, Eric finally answered the question of, the reason why it's insane because they don't want drivers to rely on it. So that makes sense to me. So once that answer finally was spewed out, then I'm like, all right, that's a good answer. But then it created this whole new side argument that kind of took things off track about, oh, if you take cash advances, you're not running your business right. Well, no one asked about running your business right. Someone asked just about the fee and why is it so high. But Cameron, good luck to you. I hope it works well here. Yukon, what's up, man? Yukon is another one that went from Schneider to, kind of in a roundabout way. He was once here at Schneider, then went and did a local deal, and then now he's with Traveloco, and he's doing all right. But, the grass is greener. See, here's the thing. Cameron says, big move for me after 30 years. Driving, will be owner-operator for Schneider. Trolling from the toilet, says Yukon. TMI there, man. So anyways, there's a lot of negativity right now going on with Schneider. Gary Compton kind of touched on it in his video, in one of his latest videos, about the rumors about the new contract and everything. Juan says, I take cash advance just to have money that my wife doesn't know about. Yep, that's a good method. But the negativity around here, I've mentioned it before, but there's a lot of fear-mongering in the trucking world, and Schneider is not immune to that. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm not worried about the new contract because, that would seem arrogant. But at the same time, it's their company. They do what they want. If that doesn't fit my business needs, then I'll move on. And that's the thing. You guys know the next move I'll probably do. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to go to company A because company B is, not as good as company A, that kind of thing. And so there's a lot of things to consider when you think the grass is greener somewhere else. Do your research. Don't just go by YouTube. You know. Harold says, I hope to make the same move with you. Yep. Well, Jeff's working on it. So, you know, I've also got plan B, just in case, you know, Jeff isn't able to do what he wants to do. So, but it's not because, you know, here's the thing with the micromanaging. Maybe I don't see it as much because I got my own truck versus the Snyder Finance truck. But I've had one in the year and a half, well, year and 3/4 I've been here. I've only had one hard-brake incident. That's it. And what it was a rainstorm. Someone cut me off. And actually, no, what it was a wind. A blast of wind hit me, and I hit the brakes. Out of reactionary. Yukon says plan B is live in a van, play metal gigs. That was plan A, like back when I was 23. So, I was homeless for about, I don't know, about a couple weeks. It wasn't a van though, it was a Ford Escort. That's how sad my life was back then. Southside Trucker, is the grass really greener at Traveloka? Well, it depends on who you talk to. If you watched Coach's feed last night, I think what it was a learning stepping stone for Coach. And two other drivers that I personally talked to, I won't name them, but they have told me the same thing that Coach has said. So there's some validity there with some of the things he said last night. And both these people that I've talked to have went on to get their own authority. Harold says that grass is burned up and dead brown. I'm not here to bash Traveloka because, you know, we got Kevin and Ollie in here who's doing well, and you got Yukon Cornelius who's doing well. Matt Grady just put it in perspective. Bottom line is that you got to do what's best for you and yours. Exactly. What fits your business needs? The Snyder business model fit my needs better than the Landstar business model. So I made my move, and I'm making a little bit more money. Yukon says, Southside Trucker, I average 7 to 8 grand gross a week, and I'm home most weekends and sometimes during the week. You know, here's the problem with the whole Traveloka thing. I'm going to put it out there. Okay? There was a time where Coach said something about Traveloka when he was still over there. He was putting some bad numbers according to Eric Cornelius. And Eric Cornelius was on Facebook saying, hey, why are we putting bad numbers up again? Okay. And I told Eric on Facebook, I said, hey, with all the YouTubers at Traveloka, wouldn't it be good if you just put your own video out? Like Traveloka put their own video out telling you exactly what the numbers were, exactly what to expect, what the recruiting thing is. That way there's no misinformation, because if you keep up with Ike and Will and all these people, Ike has accused Will of giving him bad numbers. Eric accuses Coach of putting out bad numbers. And several drivers that I know that went over there, they were not happy with the numbers as far as the fees and everything else. So, and Coach mentioned that last night with some Snyder guys that went over there. So, I told Eric, I said, wouldn't it be beneficial for you to put your own video out and just have it shared on the bigger channels? So, here's the thing. Traveloka hired some high profile in the trucking world YouTubers, okay? And it's been a double-edged sword for them, because now you got Ike and Will fighting each other. That's making Traveloka look bad. There's a lot of people that don't give Traveloka any respect because of all the videos that have been put out there about them in the negative light. Yukon Cornelius says, I wouldn't recommend coming here as long as we have a bully around who is a self-proclaimed face of Traveloka and harasses people. See, there you go. That's exactly what's talking about. Let's say that I don't know anything about Traveloka and I don't know anything about any of the YouTube truckers. And then you see what's going on. You just enter the YouTube world and you're like, wow, what's this all about? The first red flag that I ever saw was there was a video that Will put out where it was a recorded conversation with Eddie and a driver that was a potential, signer, okay? And of course, the driver was in the middle of dealing with traffic or a shipper or something, and he started cursing out the dude while he was on the phone with Eddie. Not cursing out Eddie, but cursing out other people. And completely unprofessional that this driver was. But the first red flag was that was a recorded conversation that ended up on YouTube. Like, it would kind of bother me if Snyder, took one of my conversations I had with them and put it on YouTube, because number one, that's illegal. And number two, it's kind of, why would you do that? So yeah, it's that was the first time that I'm like, this may not be a good thing for Traveloka, this YouTube thing. And sure enough, it's kind of blown up in their face now. And that's sad, because if they're a legitimate business that's trying to get along in the world, the YouTube thing has been a double-edged sword. And I told Eric this. Everything I'm saying is, I'm not attacking Traveloka. I'm just telling everybody what I've noticed, okay? Is that the YouTube thing has been a double-edged sword. 2 years ago, or a year ago, I didn't know who Traveloka was. Never heard of him, didn't know anything about him. And then when Matt and Will signed on with the 2 green trucks, that piqued my interest. And then I've talked to Will on Zello about Traveloka, and he's like, bring your truck over here, you'll make 88%, that kind of thing. And I was just like, I'll play a wait and see kind of thing. For 2 reasons. Number one, I'm not one to switch companies very easily. And number two, I want to see if this will stick. So let me go over some comments. I read one that was like, Matt Gray says, can't we all get along? Schneider, Traveloka, small company like me. Life is good. You just got to open your eyes and see it. Gear Grabber, hey, you're back. Work ethic has also a lot to do with numbers. You're right, Matt. I think that if certain people worked on their numbers versus working on their YouTube numbers, they might do better. I think that if people watered their own grass, they wouldn't look for the greener grass somewhere else. That's the message of the video. It's not about Traveloka. It's about making it your situation the best for you. And if you do progress, go to that next step. And obviously the people that we know that went from Traveloka to get their own authority, that's the next step. Jeff was not happy with Schneider because of the collision mitigation system implement, and he made moves to get his own authority. Now look, he's banking. He's doing well, and he's expanding. And that fiasco kind of blew up in Schneider's face. They lost a lot of good ICs over that. And so that's why I don't think the new contract's going to be anything extreme, because they don't want to go through that again. Cameron says, sorry to say there are a lot of unprofessional out here driving. Okay, so I got a story for you, Cameron, for you guys that you bring that up. Let me read some of these comments. Yukon Cornelius, Will does that all the time to get dirt on people. Eddie is ready to take appropriate action if it keeps up. Well, that's good, Yukon, because now that double-edged sword's cutting the other way, and he needs to do something about it. I kind of seen this Ike and Lil Dog thing coming. Well, yeah, that's just history right there. You know, Matt Gray says, go trucking and make money. You're 100% right. Okay, so let's go off topic here for a second. So yesterday I was at my customer, right? And I'll get to that question here in a second, Juan. So I'm at the dock, okay? Let's see if I can use the visual here. I'm at the dock, right? There's me at the dock. And this truck comes in front of me, and he sits there and he parks, okay? Now, mind you, there's no trucks to the left of me at the docks, and he's looking to be in one of those docks. So he starts going this way without any regards to his trailer. It was a container. And if I had not hit my horn, he would have taken out my hood. Plain and simple. I mean, it was that close. And he just kind of nonchalantly, the only thing this guy did right the whole time he was over here, around me, was that he had his window open. Because you should always back with your window open, at least a crack, so you can hear, because you're going to hear it before you feel it if you hit something. So he just kind of looks and he just kind of nods like, oh yeah, sorry, and then proceeds to set up. And what he tried to do is he tried to set up like this and go back. Now there's a difference between being inexperienced. There's a difference between being rookie, and there's a difference between not having a clue at all, okay? So while I look and he is having a hard time backing, like bad, like how did this guy even get a CDL? Like that's how bad it was. And remember, I used to be a trainer, so I kind of can spot these things. And whatever trucking school, here's the thing, you can take your CDL test with the state, or you can take your CDL test with a third-party tester. That's the problem right there. The third-party testers will just hand you the CDL, usually after, backing a little bit. And it's not the first time I've seen this. So meanwhile, another truck stages, because he's getting to the dock right next to me, and he's waiting on, it was a red Volvo. He's waiting on me to, waiting on that guy to back. So I get out, and I talk to the guy in front of me. I said, man, I think this is his first day. And, we kind of had a chuckle about it. I said, man, I'm going to go help him out, because, that way he can get out of her way. And, I don't want to be one of those guys, right? That makes fun, but then doesn't do anything. So when he finally stopped, and I could tell he was having problems shifting, he was having problems getting in reverse, like, I don't know how this dude passed the CDL test. So I finally go up to him, and I can barely understand him. He can't speak English. He's like, I don't know if he was Russian or something like that, East European. And he's kind of roughed up, like someone beat him up. He had some bruises here, a black eye, and I don't know what happened. So I asked him, I said, do you need help? And he goes, yeah, first day. I was right. It was his first day. So it took about 15 minutes for me to help him just do a straight back in the right lines. I was like, wow. Part of it was he could barely understand my direction when I was telling him, okay, you need to cut it over here and do this, that, or whatever. And it was obvious this guy should not be driving. I mean, if it's his first day and he would have hit my hood if I hadn't not been paying attention, or if I wasn't in the truck, his career's done and over with. So, so finally he gets in his spot. He's real crooked, but it's those extra wide docks where you can open the doors, or whatever. So he's not going to affect anybody. And so finally he walks up to me, and I kid you not, he was like one space away from me, and I could smell him. It's like the dude got beat up, hadn't bathed in a month, and was new to trucking and not very long for this trucking world. You know, it just kind of made me sad because, you know, that's how it is. That's the industry here. Because I'm sitting here at the Pilot here in Morris, Illinois. I've watched a lot of people that just really don't have a clue. So, Juan asks, do you think the government is going to delay the ELDs? I don't know, man. That's I think there's this glimmer of hope that a lot of people are going. There's a lot of groups trying to fight it, trying to get like an exemption, like the livestock haulers. Who knows? And I'll get to the government thing here in a second. Ben Collins' history always repeats. Tractor was kicking his ass. Okay, so Mike Mentor asked me about my plates earlier. So here's what I'm dealing with. So I go to the IRP Missouri website, right? And it has a big contact us, and it has a what would you like to know? And then you click on, there was a question that said, how do I get my apportioned plates? And I clicked on it, but nothing happened. So I click on the contact us, and it generates this pop-up window for an email. So I email the office saying, hey, what documents do I need? Because there's a couple of documents I have that are in question. And what form do I need out? I have absolutely no information on how to do this, how to get my own plate, right? So I email him, and then I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to call. So I called. You know, I was at home with the laptop and everything. So I called. And this lady answers, and she was nice. And she's like, she starts spewing out all these things. And it's too fast for me to write down. She's like, well, you know, I'm going to mail you the form. And depending on how thorough you fill out that form is the documentation you're going to need. I'm like, cool. All right. So now I've stopped writing things down at 1,000,000 miles an hour because she's supposed to email me with everything I need. So I give her my email address. And the first email I got was somebody else from the office saying, hey, go ahead and call if you want this information. So, and I haven't received a second email. So we're off to a blazing start. Then I had to get back on the road. We're off to a blazing start. And that is why everybody says, Steve, get your own authority. Steve, get your own authority. That's exactly why I won't get my own authority, because I can't even get my plates for the truck without some government BS. I can't even get through the first stage of what do I need. I've got the money. I think I got all the documents I need, but what is the first step? And no one will help me. And it's getting kind of frustrated. So next time I'm home, I got to deal with that. So that I'm thinking, well, you know, get my own authority must be a nightmare. I know Jeff makes it look easy, but Jeff makes everything look easy. So I'm like, you know what? If I can at least get my plates in a trailer, you know, you guys know what the next step's going to be. But that's why I don't think I'll ever get my authority, because of all the government bureaucracy red tape. So just kind of like, man. Cameron says, sometimes it's cheaper than a movie just to watch drivers back in truck stops. Yeah. You know, and here's a little tip for all you new people driving. If you're at a truck stop, sit in the front seat until both spots are you know, filled beside you, so you know that you can go to bed. Hey, Big Rich, what's up? Am I going to be able to get loads out of Alabama on IC? SFI rep said that me living there worried him. It depends on what part of Alabama. I know there's a lot of loads. Here's the thing. Christian Trucker runs a lot of the south stuff. Southeast. I think he does well over there. I mean, I know he does well. Go to his channel and you can see his numbers, and he's home every week. So, there is a lot of freight going to Alabama. There's a lot of paper mills down there. So I don't think it would be a problem. I mean, I don't run that area too often, but Christian Trucker does, and he'd be a better, more accurate, person to tell you what's going on. Watch this guy. Speaking of backing, let's see if this guy, he's getting ready to back next to me. Maybe? Or is he just turning around? Yeah, he's turning around. I don't know what he's doing, actually. You have to wonder sometimes. But, sorry about that, guys. Big Rich says, Steve, get your own authority. I can't even get my own plate. I also want the video to help you through that. I know, Juan, but see, that's the thing. It's... Like I said, man, Missouri's being weird. So... Larry Fitch says, talk to Jeffrey on the side and say what's up. Well, you know, I'm friends with Jeffrey, so I talk to him almost every day. You know, every state is different. That's the problem. If it was the federal part, yeah, you know. But I'm also bad about keeping paperwork and stuff like that. So that, like I said, maybe a year from now, maybe that'll be a different story. But if Jeff's company takes off, I want to be a part of that. So I think that would be better than getting my own authority. Southside Trucker says, my boss doesn't say anything about ELDs. Should I say something or let it ride? It depends, Southside. Maybe your boss is out of the loop. So, I mean, that's the other thing about Eric last night, is that there were a couple of questions regarding the CSA score, and he was kind of beating around the bush on that answer. And then he flat out said he didn't really know. Sometimes people are in the office positions at a company and they truly don't know what's going on. You know, I know another IC that's here that had problems with his old company that they didn't realize. Sometimes you got a dispatcher that doesn't know the hours of service rules. So sometimes you got a maintenance shop that doesn't know that, well, you can't drive a bobtail without a light or a mud flap. You know, but they have you do it anyways. So, you know, you gotta, so yeah, you might have to inform them. I would at least ask them, Southside, because if the mandate's going through, then you're gonna want to be prepared. You're gonna want to be like getting used to it, and so does your company. What's the freight lanes on IC board? Sorry, typing fast. The ones that create the most money that I've seen is the Midwest. From Missouri to Ohio. There's a lot of good loads that go into PA, Pennsylvania. Northeast is good going in. Sometimes it's rough coming out. 70, 35, 57, 55, 80, 90. Those are the interstates to be on for the great freight lanes. Now, with that being said, Schneider put out a memo, and I mentioned this on Periscope, saying, hey, you know, Midwest is booming right now, so there's money to be made. You know, it's not word for word, but that's basically what they were trying to say, is that their customers need more of us in the Midwest, and that, you know, there's money to be made here. There's a lot of freight. However, I've noticed a few of the rates going down in some areas that are normally up. And I'm like, you know, it's an easy solution. Just throw money at it. And that's the other thing that has created this vortex of of people being negative about Schneider is that the spot market is killing it. As Yukon said, he's making 7 to 8 grand a week. So, you know, grossing. So, when you know that all your friends are making $2 and $3 and $4 a mile, you're kind of sitting there like, man. So, it's easy to get in that mindset. Yeah, I feel like I'm outside of a house party and I can't go inside. So, but it is consistent, like Jeff said. Yesterday was probably the most trouble I had looking for a load that I liked. I actually sat all day yesterday. I delivered in Morris, literally across the street from the truck stop. And I came over here and I looked at. Hey, we're back. Oh man, no, I didn't get a phone call, Mike. All right, we're back. Everybody's back. I'm back. Tell everybody else I'm back. So, all right. So, I lost all my people. You gotta love Sprint. Yo, what's up? Hey, back. All right, so I completely lost my train of thought after cursing at my phone. What was the last thing I was talking about, guys? I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. So, you gotta love YouTube. Low boards. Plates. Yeah, it's just kind of a general thing. Oh, it's all about the Midwest stuff. They could easily solve the Midwest stuff if they would just throw more money at it. But yeah, I ride 70, 40, or not 40, 70, 57, 55. You know, those are the prime freight areas because you can make money back and forth. Some places you go make good money in, but then you make little coming out. Like for example, there's a really good load going to Loveland, Colorado right now. Pays excellent. But no, that's what I was talking about yesterday. So yesterday I was on the low board and I was waiting for this load to confirm that was going from around here to Oklahoma. Because it gets me through the house and it would be a decent paycheck. It finally confirms. It picked up yesterday. Okay, mind you, it finally confirms. Picked up yesterday. And it delivers October 7th. 800 miles away. I was mad. Why would that be on the low board? That should be something that a company guy grabs, puts it at an OC, and then it goes on the low board a couple of days before it has to deliver. So that ticked me off. So now I'm looking for the lesser two evils just to keep me moving, right? And finally, another one, the same, origin and destination popped up, and it delivers Monday. I'm like, cool. So I grabbed it. So I ended up not working yesterday at all, other than unloading at the place across the street. That's the first time that it's ever happened here. And that's on me, because there was loads I could have moved. But I was waiting for a couple of specific things, and that's where you kind of limit yourself. If you guys remember, I did a video about the key to success here is flexibility. Which, by the way, someone commented on that video about how he had to run 3,000 miles a week to break even, and that you only average about 80 cents a mile, that kind of thing. And I was just like, and then he called me a name because I was misinforming. I'm like, okay, whatever. So Juan says, I have to buy a house before I do anything. My taxes are killing me. See you guys in a bit when Snorler comes back. I'm back. I'm here. So, alright guys, I'm going to end this video because I actually do have to go to work today. And I'm going to go inside, get some coffee, and that's all that's going on with me. So, Cameron, good luck to you. If you have any questions, you can email me. Jeffrey Light can help. Steve Berger can help. Kristen Trucker can help. There's a lot of Schneider ICs that are on the YouTube that'll help. So, but thanks for watching, guys. Again, watch out for the grass is greener syndrome. That's what this video is originally about. Sometimes it's not always greener, at least not for you specifically. So, the whole Travel Loco fiasco should prove that everybody has issues no matter where they go. So, take it easy, and we'll talk to you later.